I couldn't get it to crank over. I bought it from a guy and he had it running, and we put it on a trailer and hauled it home. And I tried starting and it didn't seem like it was cranking very good, so I bought a new battery. Then it went into lockdown. Well, then I pulled the steering column apart and got the steering wheel so it could turn. And bypassed the wire to the ignition switch, so the ignition switch turns and stuff, but it still wouldn't crank over. Yesterday I was going to pull it out of the weeds so I could work on it, and I got in it, and I turned the key, and it turned over, and it started. It didn't run good, but it started and run for a couple of minutes, and it quit, and now it won't crank over anymore.
Are there any codes in the computer?
And I put the analyzer on it, and it didn't really say much.
Did it say no codes, or did it say no communication?
No code, I think.
All right. Does it have a separate starter relay?
I'm not sure. I don't know. There's a button underneath the hood. The alarm was going off and stuff on it, and then I got the alarm to quit going off, like I say. Then it cranked over and started. If there's a button on the driver's side under the hood that sticks up, I don't know if that has anything to do with starting. It's like right next to the edge.
And do you have a security light that's on or flashing on the dash by chance?
No, I don't think so.
And all the fuses are good at this time?
As far as I know.
So, a couple things to keep in mind. The ignition switch does go bad on this vehicle. Did you replace the ignition switch, you said?
Nope.
All right. The the immobilizer control module also goes bad.
Yep.
The transmission control module goes bad. And the starter goes bad.
There's one bolt on the starter I couldn't get out, so I didn't replace it. But I say yesterday the starter cranked over just fine, so I know it's not the starter. But on the ignition switch, when I turn it to start, there is power coming out of the start wire on the ignition switch.
Well, I would probably go ahead and then check for diagnostic trouble codes in the computer. The reason being is because the signal from that ignition switch goes right into your engine control module. And then from there, when the engine control module has determined that the conditions are correct, it will then activate the starter relay. But you did say you checked for codes and there were no codes, correct?
I think so. I don't know. It said something about transfer case, said something about that. And I had the body control module supposedly rebuilt or whatever. So that should be good. But I see where that one relay is for the immobilizer or whatever is underneath in the dash or whatever. You pop a cover off and it's down in there.
Yes, sir.
Underneath the speaker. That have to be replaced or...
Well, if it's bad, but we need to diagnose it first. You might want to, once you're talking about the starter relay or a different relay?
Different, not the immobilizer.
And I'm sorry, did you say you have a immobilizer light? And I think we talked about this. I apologize.
I think that's what went wrong because the steering wheel locked and couldn't get the steering wheel unlocked. So I Googled it and they showed how to take it apart and cut the wires on the motor and take the plug thing out so it won't lock anymore.
Well, I guess my question is, do you have a security light that's on, solid, or flashing with the key turned on?
No, I don't think so. Just that it locked everything. I couldn't do anything.
But there's no security light on, correct?
No, I don't think so.
So we probably don't have a security-related issue. That would be my guess. So I would locate the starter relay, and for the relay to work, it needs 2 powers and 1 ground. You have a fusible link number 2. It's a 60-amp fusible link in the passenger compartment fuse box behind the right side of the dash.
Yep.
And it goes through looks like immobilizer 2, and then it powers up one of the pins on the starter relay, and then the engine control module is supposed to power up another pin on the starter relay when the key's in the crank position. And then the steering lock ECU then grounds the starter relay when the conditions are correct. And then when that relay activates, it'll go ahead and crank that. It'll send power down to the starter and crank the starter. So what it sounds like is something somewhere in the middle of the system, because your ignition switch is working, that the starter is working, we don't have a security-related issue, so you might want to go right to that starter relay and determine what's missing, what input is missing when the key's in the crank position.
Where would the relay be located at? I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm looking up. Just give me 1 second here. Hang on. Let's see here. Oh, my goodness.
Whoever I bought it from tore the whole inside out of the car. It looked like it was stopped at the border and searched for drugs.
Oh, no. Are you serious? Oh, geez.
From the front seat to the back seat, the plastic off the sides. And
are you serious? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Pulled all 4 seats out. The body's in excellent shape. I'm going to mess with it a little bit here, and if not, I was going to put it on Marketplace and get rid of it.
Oh, I gotcha. It's crazy. You never know what you're going to get sometimes, right?
Yeah. I bought another one, and that one ended up, it wasn't running when I bought it either, but I think we put a new fuel pump in it, and I got it running, and it would quit starting every once in a while, but I just hooked the code reader up to it and cleared, and then it would start right back up again.
Oh, wow.
And I was coming home from town one day, and all of a sudden it made a noise, and somehow the oil cap blew off, and the oil blew out of the motor onto the exhaust and started on fire, burned up on the side of the road.
Once you access the starter relay, all we need to do is just check the inputs to determine what's missing. We got to see if it's missing one of the power supplies or one of the grounds. Figure out what in the world's going on here.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, you bet. You're welcome. Good luck.
Yep.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.